How many of you have went through the process of buying a puppy from a breeder? Do you know what red flags to look for when vetting your breeder? Does kissing your dog in the mouth or allowing them to run all over the place and do whatever they want in your house an indication of a good breeder? Although it could be an indication of how much they love their dog, a lot of this is just fluff and it's no indication that the breeder even knows what they are doing or takes great care of their dogs. So don't be fooled by this. I want to arm you with all the information you need before investing your money into a puppy from a breeder, so I'll share the top 10 things you should be asking from your breeder. If you want to know more of an objective approach to properly vetting your breeder, please stick around for this video, and if you do, I'll share my story of how I entered the realm of French Bulldogs, completely unarmed with this information, and how it turned out for me. So please like this video, subscribe to this page, and stay tuned. Hi. I'm Aaron with Frenchies, and today I'll be giving you more of a foolproof guide to buying French Bulldogs and what you should expect from your breeder without fail before ever putting a deposit down on a puppy. Keep in mind, deposits are non-refundable in 99% of cases, so make sure you stick around until the end to learn how to prevent yourself from throwing away your hard-earned money doing business with the wrong breeders. Number 1. How long have they been breeding and how many productions do they have? Profit should be a byproduct of your mission, and it is no different when it comes to breeding dogs. Your breeder may be new to the industry and figuring things out, but should still be able to explain why they entered. For me, it's simple. I love dogs and spending 15 years previous to French Bulldogs breeding American Bullies. I thought that particular breed had a bad rap in terms of being discriminated against and are some of the most well-behaved, loving, and smart dogs out there. My mission was to get the best looking dogs with the best temperament to start changing that narrative. All these years later, I don't see as much bad publicity that included vicious attacks on people and other dogs or stories of fighting these breeds like there was in the early 2000s, because breeders that shared the same vision for this breed of dog allowed that to happen. My mission is similar when it comes to breeding French Bulldogs. It is now the most popular dog in the world, but not without faults. I want to improve the structure while also producing a plethora of different colors and DNA combinations to help make this a more affordable dog for families to enjoy. Number 2, do they offer a contract on the transaction? Puppy and stud transactions when it comes to this breed can range anywhere between $2,000 all the way up to deals I've seen made over $80,000. Breeders should be organized enough to have standard contracts to ensure both parties are clear on the expectations and protection from any surprises or liabilities outside of what is in the actual contract. In Texas, your payment of a deposit is all that is necessary along with the breeder's signature to lock you in. In other words, the contract is enforceable if the breeder signs and you pay the deposit. This is not legal advice, as I am not an attorney, so this may vary from state to state, as some may require both parties to sign the contract in order for it to become enforceable. Number 3, can they present a health certificate from a veterinarian? This is a must and goes along with the contract. There are many things a breeder can do themselves to help keep costs down, which I will discuss in a minute, but all breeders should be taking their litter to a licensed veterinarian to get a certificate of health on the entire litter before changing ownership of the puppies. This is an element of protection for both parties, so this is one of the non-negotiables when it comes to buying a puppy from a good breeder. Number 4, will you have breeding rights to your puppy, or will you be buying the puppy as a pet only? This is very important to know, as you can purchase a puppy with full rights to breed the dog, or just as a pet, which requires you to have the puppy registered as such. To add to that, the breeder may also require you to get the puppy spayed or neutered with proof the process is complete within a certain range of time. All of this will be outlined in the contract before exchanging ownership of the puppy. There is a particular difference in the way an ownership transfer is done with the AKC, depending on if you have breeding rights or not, so make sure the contract matches the AKC paperwork that is signed by the breeder and handed over to you once the transaction is finalized. Number 5. What is their availability to show you the parents and the puppies? This is a big one. In this day and age of technology, it's simply unacceptable for a breeder not to make time and availability for you to be able to make a virtual call, whether that be a FaceTime, Facebook Messenger, Zoom, as well as other forms for you to be able to see your puppy. Whelping an entire litter is extremely hard and time consuming, but it is not an excuse for them not to make themselves available for you at least 10 minutes once per week for you to be able to see your puppy and track their progress. It is a huge red flag if a breeder can't meet this expectation, and you have to take this into consideration before placing a deposit. Be sure to ask the breeder what their availability looks like for you to be able to do this, and then hold them to that. Number 6, do they have any referrals from previous litters? Not all breeders have the experience to be able to have this, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because they may just be starting, so this one may not be a deal breaker. But if they are unable to present you with some kind of referral from previous business, then this added up with other red flags should give you the information you need to walk away from the deal before putting down a deposit and signing a contract. Number 7, what environment are the puppies and parents in? Not only is whelping puppies extremely time consuming, it can also be very expensive. The best breeders out there reinvest the money they made into their dog's environment, and I've seen some very elaborate environments for dogs, all the way up to dogs literally having their own home about the size of a garage, with their own washer dryer, air conditioning, play area, and epoxy floors. This does not mean they are the best breeders, but it does show their investment in their dog's environment, and that matters. What you are looking for here really is clean and sanitary, and a clear signal that the dogs are well taken care of. Number 8, are the puppies registered, and can they prove that they either already had the paperwork sent off or they have it in hand? If you are going to invest the money it costs to purchase and own a French Bulldog from a breeder, you will want to be sure that they are in fact thoroughbred and are registered with the AKC. I have seen breeders have puppies that are 8 weeks old and ready to go home and still can't present the paperwork for the dog's registration. If they don't have the physical paperwork in hand by this time, it should be language in the contract that allows you to back out the deal and receive a full refund. This is just my stance, but there is no excuse for it. In my personal experience, I have always sent the registration paperwork within the first week of the puppies being born and have always gotten them back in the first 4 weeks of the puppy's life without fail. This was during the pandemic, the organization being shorthanded, etc. Do not do business with breeders that aren't organized enough to get this done early in the process, as you will inevitably have more issues with the breeder down the road if they aren't doing this. Trust me, run the other way. Number 9. Are the puppies vaccinated and dewormed, and can they prove it? If you are getting your puppy by the age of 8 weeks from your breeder, the puppy should have at least one vaccination shot, which includes at least the distemper and parvo vaccinations, and they should be able to present proof. According to the American Kennel Club, here is a generally accepted guideline of the puppy vaccination schedule during the first year of the puppy's life. To keep costs down, many breeders distribute these shots themselves. What I do is take the stickers from the shots, place them on a blank page, then date and sign them. When I transfer their ownership, I include this with the puppy packet and I give it to the new owner. I do this so new owners can keep track of what shot was given and when, so they can share this information with their new vets. Puppies should be dewormed every 2 weeks from the age of 2 to 12 weeks. Dewormers vary in their concentration from the different types of worms that can infect your dog, which include roundworms, hookworms, whipworms, and tapeworms. Although there isn't a foolproof way that a breeder can prove they're giving their puppy deworming treatment every 2 weeks, you can feel at ease that your breeder provides a certificate of health from the vets, as this is also something they check for during that visit. And number 10. Do they have a DNA profile of both parents or the puppy that they can share with you? Just like having AKC paperwork readily available, the breeder should at least be able to present proof that they have a full DNA profile on both parents and that they are free from all genetic defects that can cause issues with your puppy's quality of life. DNA is an absolute, so if both parents are clear of any genetic health issues in their DNA, you can be sure the puppy doesn't have any as well. Because prices can vary so much based on the DNA profile of a puppy, Some breeders will go as far as investing in the full DNA profile of their entire litter so they can price them appropriately. But that may be going above and beyond and should not be a baseline expectation for them as long as they prove both parents don't have health issues via their DNA profile. I did a previous video that you can find here on DNA and French Bulldogs, where I also share a story about my first experience of buying a French Bulldog, where a guide like this would have saved me tens of thousands of dollars, as well as setting me back 2 years to have to restart from the ground up. This happened because of my lack of knowledge at the time of DNA and how important of a role it plays with this particular breed. Click the link above to hear this story, as it is a huge cautionary tale to anyone that wants to purchase a French Bulldog about just how imperative it is to have a general understanding of DNA before purchasing your puppy. So please give it a watch. There might be 100 other questions that you have for your breeder depending on your knowledge and experience with this breed or any other particular breed you are buying. But these 10 will eliminate red flags that would prevent you from getting a dog that isn't healthy, not properly registered as a thoroughbred, or has genetic issues with the DNA that should never be bred into their offspring. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos in the future. Thanks for watching.